Hello. So just wanted to come and speak my heart out. So this is almost 6:20 p.m. and the place where I live, it's still bright as day. So I'm back from the office, had my lunch. Now my child is out to play, and like we all have that, anxiety, right? When the day is about to end and we all feel that, okay, now this day is also gone, and have we done our best in this day? Have we done really what we aspired to do yesterday, right? So I'm washing dishes right now, and I had a maid who was doing all this for me, and she worked for a good 1.5 years, and then I asked her to leave. I don't know why I asked her to leave. Yeah, actually I know why I asked her to leave. Because when she was working, she used to leave our campus by 3:30 p.m. and I used to come from office exactly at the same time. So like she couldn't ever work in my presence. So 1.5 years, actually I initially hired her sister. Her name was Soni. So she was doing a very good job, right? Taking good care of the things that she was supposed to do. But then she got married, and her sister, whose name was I don't remember, Meena. Yes, Meena. So she used to come. Then she worked good initially, but then I think she already was working in a lot of houses, and when Soni got married, so at that time this Meena, right, she did not quit her previous jobs, and still she went to the houses where her elder sister was going before she got married, right? So she started coming to my house as well. It was all fine. It was going fine. Then as the time passed by, I saw, like, I actually felt that she started being careless in her work. So what happened that suppose she must have been washing dishes. So she washed few dishes and left few on the rack, correct? Now I am sure that she did not do it intentionally. Maybe the sink was overloaded, and she felt that, okay, if I put some of the utensils on the rack on the side, maybe I'll be able to wash it properly, and then I can go back to those dishes. But eventually I think she forgot that she has also put few utensils on the side. So like this, a few months passed, and I was like, okay, chalo, next time say she will not do this, from next time she will not do this, like that. But she continued doing this, right? It became sort of a habit. Okay, so, and one day what happened, she came to the township, and she was in the township, I saw, because I have an app in which I can check whether she has entered or not. So she did enter, but she did not come for work, right? And that day I was like furious, because when you see the pile of utensils in the sink when you come back from the office, because see, I'm living at a place where you don't get any cooked meal, right? There is a mess which also closes by 2 o'clock, right? So if you're coming at 3:30 in the noon, so there is nothing like from order. You cannot order anything from outside, so you have to cook by yourself. And me and my son, like, we generally eat freshly prepared meal, huh? So after coming from office, and then I used to clean the utensils, and then I used to cook. And and then like, whenever she was coming for work, I was at office, and I could not overlook, like, I could not actually see what she is doing in my home, right? So I had to be extra cautious. So while going for office, I used to lock everything up, right? Only the living room, not actually the drawing hall, and the kitchen was open, and of course the washroom and bathroom, right? So they were open, that portion was open, and in that also she didn't used to clean properly, है so I asked her to leave. And since that time I'm doing all the household chores by myself, and I also take help of my 9-year-old son. He helps me a lot. So yeah, see, this is first time I am talking to myself, and although I am such a confident person, I speak so well in front of others, but see, today I am talking to myself, I am recording myself, and I am running out of words. It seems I am running out of words, right? I am somehow gathering the lines and words to say. So this happens when you are so much outside, right? You feel that you know yourself and you're so confident outside, but actually when you sit down with yourself, that's when you realize that the most difficult person to talk is not out in the world, it's inside you, it's your own self. Because when you sit down and talk to your own self, you feel almost as if you are talking to a stranger, because when you're giving opinions, right, or when you are passing off your thinking or your basically judgments on others and to others, so that time you feel you have so much of clarity, and you have a good thought process, you know about things, you understand. But the person that actually is the most important, that is your own self. When you sit down and talk to that person, it is the most difficult thing in the world to do. That's why people run out of meditations, they run out of self-care, because it seems like an alien thing when you do it literally. Like, I am doing this thing, I am talking to myself today, and nobody is at home, I am just doing my chores while recording this, and I am kind of shivering from inside. It is like, it's so difficult for me to talk to myself. But if I talk to a friend, a colleague, my son, the words flow out effortlessly. Like I am at my best when I talk to others, but now when I'm talking to myself, only random stuff is coming. See, I started with the story of maid. I mean, that is not even relevant to my being, and I started my story with that, right? So it is like that, when you are distant from your own self, and when you one day decide to sit down and talk to yourself, it seems like a strange person, right? It seems like you are talking to a stranger who is not ready to open up, because that stranger was with you for the longest, but you cared, you didn't care to know that stranger, right? And now, after months and years, when you sit down and talk to that stranger, you find out that this stranger is your own self. Like, literally, I mean, it is so difficult for me right now to talk to myself. But if you ask me about like an opinion, okay, if I have to give an opinion about somebody else, right, it just comes. Like, I don't even have to think about it. It just comes on my lips, and I can go hours and hours talking about, and actually not talking about, not like gossiping, but yeah, like being judgmental, giving opinions on politics, like on people, right? It is so easy, but when you sit down and talk to your own self, my God, I'm feeling like I am giving an interview to the most brilliant person in the world, maybe Einstein or somebody. And when I'm talking to myself, literally, I feel that an Einstein kind of a person is sitting inside me, and I am talking like a fool in front of that person. Oh my God, it is so difficult. So, yeah. But difficult things are, I think, as they say, is worth it, right? So, I think if you just pass your life and you never care to even sit and talk with your own self, then what is the purpose of the whole being? We are so much addicted to the world outside, like what's happening outside, as if it is going to have a major impact on our own self. But it has got none. If you see your life, like maybe from a distance, you will feel that these things are not having any impact on you. Things like this were happening in the past, from times immemorial, but we were quite satisfied beings, at least before 20 years, maybe 25 years, because I think there were less things to compare to, right? I think as we are growing, we are inventing more things of comparison, and I think this is draining us, because it is not like that today we are not leading a good life. We are leading a good life, right? Because what seemed like a magic or completely untrue of in the past, today it is a reality. But I think with all the good things come a lot of responsibility, and I think I believe that we are shying away from the responsibility because we feel that whatever is being given to us, it is going to be permanent. But as the history has always shown us that times always change, and that is the only thing that is that is sure, right? That you can be sure of, that things are going to change. I think it's too much for me now. Let's talk tomorrow. Bye.